Hello, and today's QPU will be about Napoleon. And no, I don't mean Napoleon, the French military leader who was France's last hope of growing some balls, but rather I mean the very terrible movie that has no relation. Now, before I begin, I want to say one thing. I don't hate movies like this. It's enjoyable to watch movies with no premise or point. It's just a good way to sit back and relax. I rather liked Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and I love Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. However, I hate this movie. It has no plot, meaning, significance, or intelligence. It's stupid. Reason number 1. Annoyance. This movie has no level of intellect. It's annoying to just watch some retard go around the school and get made fun of. The story is stupid, the character is retarded, the acting is awful, and the amount of time put into making this movie was probably less time needed to go take a shit. I wanted to shoot myself while watching this because it gets you so annoyed that you start to feel stupid for even giving the movie a chance. After about 2 good minutes, I got out my Glock and literally started contemplating. Reason number 2. Story. After a while of watching this, I started to question whether or not I was actually watching a movie, or just some retard have a video crew follow him around. As I said once, this movie has no plot, which again doesn't have to be bad. With good acting, nice jokes, and a funny execution, it's a good way to make up for it, especially if it's intentionally a comedy. But this movie has shitty actors, bad jokes, and some of the worst execution I've seen, excluding Twilight and Spider-Man 3. I'm not even sure if it was actually a comedy, to be honest. It's boring and I couldn't laugh once while watching it. But people say it's a comedy, so I have to believe it. Reason number 3. Catchphrases. If it's not bad enough that this movie makes me want to shoot myself, it seems to follow me around each time I get free. People seem to think it's funny to imitate people being stupid, so everyone seems to reference Napoleon's retarded best friend for something dumb. Even in shows I enjoy, like George Lopez, they reference it for someone running for a treasure at school, and it turns out to be a parody of the comedy. How does that even work? Well, regardless, this movie still sucks, and anyone who makes that joke around me always seems to be running a few seconds later. Reason number 4. Contact retardation. If you've ever heard of a contact high, you know what I'm talking about. When you're around people smoking pot, it's easy to get high due to the fumes. Well, this movie seems to have a similar effect, in that it makes me feel retarded for even giving it a chance, and even more retarded for watching it all the way through. I'll say this one time, I only put my opinion in these videos, however anyone who seems to find this movie enjoyable is mentally ill, and if you don't believe me then you should go see a doctor. This movie is retarded, and simply watching it drops your IQ level a good 10%, and enjoying it can do a good 30. Be warned, this movie is shit and nothing but shit. Well, that's enough on that. Let's move on. Reason number 5. Boredom. Yes, I know I've said it's boring and annoying throughout this entire QPU, however I find it so boring that it deserves its own personal reason as to why it makes me shit myself whenever I see anything about it. I honestly can't understand how it's enjoyable. If any of you know, please enlighten me by commenting on this video. But for the time being, it's boring and that's final. If it's so much fun to watch some strange kid live his everyday life, then go watch your neighbor or classmate. It'll at least save you some cash.
Subscribe to these videos, or